I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakakwadash, and the double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone for enduring, pushing his truth, laboring in the footsteps of the men that they've labored in. Throughout the by Hashem Yahweh Shai for those 7 men leaving the trail, glorifying your name, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. The book of Luke, chapter 17, verse 32. Remember Lot's wife. Right? Remember Lot's wife.
Yes. I don't think in general we're being raised. So I will say that it's a problem with both men and women. Yes. I don't think in general we're being raised to be marriage minded because a lot of people aren't getting married anymore like they used to.
Yes.
So someone posted something on my YouTube channel and they were like, black women are raised to be mothers or single mothers, but...
All right, so... The book of Genesis, chapter 24, verse 67. And Isaac, who is our forefather, he's also the forefather of the so-called white race, the Edomites. And Isaac brought her into his mother's Sarah's tent. And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent and took Rebekah. He already brought her into the tent. So how did he take her? Right? He ravished her. But she didn't mind. She was okay with it. He humbled her to where she didn't mind him taking her body. Right? He took Rebekah and she became his wife. And he loved her, and Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. Now she became his wife inside of that tent. Right? It wasn't that everybody didn't pile up in the tent, do a ceremony, throw rice, none of that stuff inside the tent. He took Rebekah inside that tent after he brought her in the tent, and she became his wife. So what does that mean? The book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 24. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother. All right, his mother had passed. Isaac's mother had passed. And he, Salakia. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother. Salakia means forgive me or excuse me, depending on how you use it. And shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. So the man leaves his father and his mother, cleaves unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. How do they become one flesh? Right? When he penetrates the woman. Right? Lock and key. Right? The woman's pocketbook will be the lock, and the man's coins will be the key. The coins go into the pocketbook. All right? Genesis chapter 2, verse 24. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother and shall cleave unto his wife. They shall be one flesh. The book of Mark, chapter 10, verse 8. It's like 10, verse 7. For this cause shall a man leave his father and his mother and cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh. So then they are no more twain, but one flesh. That's what constitutes the marriage. When a man penetrates the woman, that's his wife, constitute a marriage. Now, a man could have more than one wife, but a woman can only have one husband while her husband lives, because the word husband comes from the word husbandry. Husbandry deals with farming. Husbandry deals with planting seeds, right? Husbandman deals with planting seeds.
Not raised to be wives.
I've seen something like that.
Yeah, so it's like those qualities, yes, those are things that a man can appreciate, but how do you operate in a partnership? How do you function as a unit? When you start thinking about those qualities, I think that's where we struggle a little bit. Yep. And it sucks because I think we're getting, again, the short end of the stick. We were raised in environments where we have to have a tougher exterior. Yes. From a young age, you have to like grow up really quick. And so I think we just have to unlearn a lot of those things. And that's...
We have to unlearn a lot of things because you're not even getting the short end of the stick. You're not getting the stick. All right? The stick, you're not getting it, and it's being used to beat you upside the head. The book of Tobit, chapter 11, chapter 10, is the perfect scripture. Ironically, flipped open to it after I had mentioned this to my woman, explaining to her the way that a daughter brings honor to her father, because you women don't have a clue, right? We're going to skip down to the bottom, but you can read the whole book of chapter 10 in Tobit to get an idea of what was going on in this chapter. But his father-in-law said unto him, tarry with me, and I will send to thy father, and they shall declare unto him how things go with thee. But Tobias said, no, but let me go to my father. Tobias' father's name was Tobit. Then Raguel arose and gave him Sarah his wife, and half his goods, servants, and cattle, and money. All right, so Raguel is the father of Sarah, and Sarah and Tobias are getting married. All right, and sex is marriage, but he didn't have sex yet. Then Raguel, he didn't have sex with her yet. Then Raguel arose and gave him Sarah his wife and half his goods, servants, and cattle, and money. And he blessed them and sent them away, saying, the God of heaven give you a prosperous journey, my children. All right, so Tobias' wife, Tobias' father-in-law believed in the God of heaven. All right, and the God of heaven's name is Yahweh. Right, so the man will raise his daughter to know of Yahweh and of the customs and traditions. And the man will give his daughter to a man who fears Yahweh, who knows Yahweh, who knows of Yahweh. You're not going to give your daughter to a man that believes in Jesus. All right, that wasn't going to happen back then, or any other ancient God, because Jesus is only 500 years old. All right, so Raguel wasn't thinking about no Jesus. All right. Verse 12, Tobias chapter 10, verse 12. And he said to his daughter, honor thy father and thy mother-in-law, which are now thy parents, that I may hear good report of thee. And he kissed her. So a father wants to hear a good report of his daughter, all right? Because that's how he's honored. That makes him look good. Right? If the daughter would have ran off with Tobias' children, had children with Tobias, ran off with the children, it would have brought shame unto Raguel. Who I don't know his name. Raguel. All right? Him. It's like it. Tobias chapter 10, verse 12. And he said to his daughter, honor thy father and thy mother-in-law, which are now thy parents, that I may hear a good report of thee. And he kissed her. All right? This don't make this. A woman looking good, sounding confused, not knowing what the hell is going on, is not a good report to the father. It brings shame to the father. And he kissed her. Edna also said to Tobias, so Edna is Tobias' mother-in-law, the Lord of heaven restore thee. They're speaking of Yahweh. My dear brother, and grant that I may see thy children. She said, thy children. She didn't say, I grant that I may see my daughter's children. She said, I grant that I may see your children, thy children, of my daughter. All right? The grandmother said, future grandmother said, I pray that I get to see your children of my daughter before I die. All right, let's read this again. Tobit chapter 10, verse 12. And he said to his daughter, honor thy father and thy mother-in-law, which are now thy parents. This is what you women have to do. All right, you want to be a Proverbs 31 woman, be a Tobit chapter 10, verse 12 woman. All right. And he said to his daughter, honor thy father and thy mother-in-law, which are now thy parents, that I may hear good report of thee. And he kissed her. Edna also said to Tobias, you think he would have wanted to kiss his daughter if she would have been the neighborhood whore? Huh? And been the nympho and everybody just nutting all on her face and all this madness. Multiple men nutting on her face. And somebody's supposed to come by and kiss her like it's the most precious, beautiful face in the world. It's defiled. All right, Tobit chapter 10, verse 12. And he said to his daughter, honor thy father and thy mother-in-law, which are now thy parents, that I may hear good report of thee. And he kissed her. Edna also said to Tobias, the Lord of heaven restore thee, my dear brother, and grant that I may see thy children of my daughter Sarah before I die, that I may rejoice before the Lord. Behold, I commit my daughter unto thee of special trust, where do not entreat her evil. Right? So this is what we missed out on. This is what we've lost out on. Right? And I'm sick of this shat